What's up guys, it's Bucky. Welcome to your 14th Java tutorial. In this tutorial I'm going to teach you guys how to use multiple classes. Now so far I've taught you guys how to build everything in one simple class such as this, but usually in like 99% of the time, if you're working for like a company or building a bigger application or program, anytime you want to build something that's bigger than something really simple, you need to know how to use more classes or multiple classes. And then you can use those all in your main class, or let me just show you guys how this works. So to get another class, hopefully you're using Eclipse, go ahead over to your source file, right click it, and go to New Class. Now go ahead and give this a name like Tuna or something like that, and you'll see why this is useful later on. So now we have, as you can see from our tabs, let me move this over, we have an apples class and a tuna class. Now it started out writing our tuna class for us. It says public class tuna. Now anytime you see public, it pretty much means that this class is going to be available to the public, or anything else can use it. So let's go ahead, and now that we have a class, before I show you guys how to use it, let me go ahead and write a little method in here. Now let's go ahead and write a simple method in this other new tuna class that we just built. Type public void, and again public means anyone can use it. Void means that it's going to do something. This method's going to do something, but it's not going to return any data. So then go ahead and name your method. I'm going to name mine simple message, since I'm just going to be printing out a simple message. And that message is going to be system out print line. And let's go ahead and add something like this is another class. So now we have another class, and this is called public class tuna, and our method is public void. And don't forget to put a simple message in here somewhere. You can put anything you want. And now if we go ahead and try to run this, try to run it, okay, nothing happens right here. And this is because I told you guys, anytime you run a Java program, it looks for the first thing that says main and runs it from there. As you can see, you don't have main anywhere in here, so it doesn't really know where to look first. So in order to use this class, we need to go ahead and use it in main. So here is our main function or method right here, and it's in the main class one. Remember, this is the main one that we used before. The other one is the new one that we built. So let me give you guys a little background. Whenever you use a method in another class, say we want to use this method, simple message, and it's in the tuna class, what we need to do is go ahead and create an object of that class. So the first thing we do is put the class name, which is tuna. Next we need an object name, and you can name this anything you want. I'm going to name my tuna object. And what this object is going to allow you to do is use all the stuff that's in this class. Again, if you didn't create an object and you had like 5 classes, it wouldn't know what class you were talking about. So that's why we need an object. So we're saying, alright, we have this object because we want to use something from the tuna class. And of course, you need to set it equal to something. And you always set it equal to new in the class name with empty parameters for now. So now we have an object called tuna object that we can use to get anything we want from this tuna class that we just built. So let's go ahead and use it. What you do to use this is go ahead and put the object name, which is tuna object, spell it right, tuna object, and then after the object name, what you do is add a dot separator. And after that dot separator, you use the method name. So what was our method name? Simple message. So simple message, empty parameters. And let me tell you guys why you use a dot separator in the method name. Because this class, even though we built one method right here, it can have as many methods as it wants. since it can have a method named simple message 2, dimple message, bacon and cheese. But it says, alright, we have this object we want to use in Tuna class, and we want to use this method. So if there are other methods, we want to use this one. So that is how you use a specific method in a specific class, by creating a class, an object of that class. So let's go ahead, and unlike before, when we run this program, we get the message that we just built. This is another class. And so this is how you can use different classes in your main program or your main method. So this is a way that if you own like a software company, you can say, alright, Tommy, we need you to build one class to do this. John, we need you to build another class to do this. Stephanie, we need you to build another class to do this. And then you, as the head programmer, would put all those classes together. And it's just a way that different programmers can combine all of their work without having to work on the same file. So this makes it a lot easier. Again, that's how you use a different class, such as this, an outside class, and call it into your main method or function. So that's your quick tutorial on using multiple classes. Follow this tutorial exactly and play around with it, and soon enough you'll be an expert at it. So again, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe to my channel, and make sure to check out my next tutorial. What is going on, people? Welcome to your 50th Java tutorial. And I know it's been a while since I started making Java tutorials, but hey, we're gonna get back on track and start learning some more Java. So actually I had planned out that we're gonna learn polymorphism, but I think I'm just gonna skip right to GUIs because it's a lot funner, and it's better if we know how to make an interface before we start getting into some other stuff. Plus, when we have an interface and stuff, you can see what everything does, and you're not just typing random code that you're like, alright, what is this, the matrix? Because, you know, it's time we started building an application that the user can interact with and see. So if you don't know what a GUI is, or some people call it a GUI, it's a graphical user interface. And just like this right here, it has a title bar at the top, menu, drop downs, it has a whole different range of buttons. And that's what we're going to be making instead of this right here where it's like the matrix style, because I mean, come on, it's 2009. If you're watching this tutorial in 2009, that is. So let's go ahead and get started. Now the first thing you need to know is that all GUIs are built from GUI or GUI components. That means there has to be a component for a menu, a dialog box, scroll bars. You have to add each one of those individually. So how do you just go ahead and get these components? Well, actually, Java has a built-in class that stores all the components you need. You just need to tell it where to put it and what to do with it. And they are created using different methods. And the methods you use to create this in the class is called the JOptionPane class. Now, like I said, this class is built into Java, so anytime you want to make a button, all you need to do is call it from the class. And there are different ways to do this, but this is the easiest way. So in order to get all those buttons and toolbars and everything, we first need to import the entire class. So let's go ahead, and before your even class right here, just go ahead and put import javax dot swing dot JOptionPane, and make sure you type the J and the O capital option pane, and just like that. And now we're getting a little error that says the import Java JOptionPane is never used. So let's go ahead and fix that by using some stuff right now. So now we imported the class, which means we have access to all the crap in it. So let's start using some of that crap. The first thing we're going to want to do is set two variables. By the way, I'm going to build a program where you enter a number in one box and then click OK, you enter a number in another, click OK, and the end box, the third one, shows your answer. You'll see in a little bit. So we need to set this equal to a string variable and set it equal to first number, and I'm just going to write FN, or FN for first number. Now what you need to do is call the class, which is JOptionPane, use a period or dot separator, and the method for an input dialog is show input, if you couldn't tell by these 100 pop-up things that pop up, dialog. And it's going to take one parameter right here, and this is the message. Now what this is the message or the prompt which you want to tell the user to do. So we just want to put in a string, enter first number. So now whatever they enter into that first number is going to be stored in the variable fn. So now we need a second number, so let's go ahead and copy this, press enter, paste it, and let's just set string second number, and we'll just put enter second number right there. Make sure I got my whatever it's called, semicolon, and let's go ahead and move this over here because just because I feel like it. Now here's a little thing that you need to know. Every time they enter something in here, show input dialog method only is able to get a string. So we can't add strings. Strings are pretty much letters and numbers that it doesn't see as a number. So we need to tell Java, alright, instead of viewing this as a string, we want you to view it as an integer so you can do some math with it later on. So what we need to do is convert these variables to integers. So this has nothing to do with JOptionPane. This is just Java right here. So Java int num1 equals integer dot parse int, and what this does is convert whatever I type into here and stores it as an integer in num1. So I want to put fn, and what this does is take the string, which say it's 5, and converts it into the number 5. So now let's go ahead and do this for num2. Num2, we want to take the second number we typed in and convert it to a variable called number2. So now the last thing we need to do is just show the sum. So before we even do that, let's just add the sum. Int sum equals what do we put, num1 plus num2, no spaces. And now we got the final answer in the sum variable right here. Let's tighten that up a little bit. That's what she said. And now we can go ahead and display this. Now the box that you use to display is something called show message dialog. So let's put JOptionPane dot show message dialog. And this is a little different than show input dialog. Inputs for inputting, messages just for displaying. Now this method takes 4 parameters. The first one is it's a parameter where to position it, and if you put null, it positions it right in the middle of the screen. The second one is what you want to say, like for your prompt, but it isn't prompt, it's just a message. So let's put the answer is, and let's just put add sum. So it's going to be like the answer is 5 or something like that. Now the third parameter is what you want to appear on your title bar. So let's put like the title or something easy like that. And the fourth parameter you need is the message that's going to pop up. Now I'll go over this later if I got time, but for right now just put JOption pane, then put plain underscore message like that, and you don't need to put this last thing in quotation marks. So again, well, that's pretty much it. Let's just go ahead and run this program. I'm tired of waiting around. So let's go ahead, click OK, run it. Enter your first number, 3. Okay. Enter your second number, 5. Okay. The answer is 8. And now I can talk you through this one more time. So now once we go ahead and run this, what we're getting is this very first thing, the show input dialog, and it says enter your first number, and we're going to go ahead and enter 4, press OK. Now once we press OK, it stores that 4 in fn variable right there, and also it allows us to move on to this other show input dialog. It doesn't move on until you complete the show input dialog. So enter your second number, 6. OK. So now what it did right here is it took that 4 and converted it to a number, and took that 6 and converted it to a number, so that you can add the 2 sums right here. And lastly, it took that show message dialog, which if I can get it back right here, and it says that null, which means position in the center of our screen. The answer is sum right here. And again, that third parameter was the title, which appeared on the title bar. And that last one, you have the option of putting icons on your GUI or user interface that we built, but we're not going to put icons on here now, mostly because they're stupid. If you want to have something like an error, you can put X on there. A warning, you put like a, I don't know. They're stupid, but we'll probably put them in next time because I'm stupid too. So, but that's a real quick tutorial on how to use JOption Paint to make a simple graphical user interface, aka GUI. So in the next tutorial, we're going to be building our GUIs and add some more function, add some more cool buttons and stuff like that. So thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you next tutorial.